Hello and welcome to PMCLounge.com. In this video, we are looking at some practice questions of Agile. And these questions will be helpful if you're preparing for your PMP exam or PMI-ACP exam. This is just part one. We will come up with more videos. So definitely subscribe to this channel. We are all about project management, PMP, and other project management related certifications. Now, we have also done several other practice questions videos in the past that will be listed in the first link in the description, which is going to be the entire playlist of such videos. If you're looking for concept related videos, if you want to learn what Agile is and other related concepts of Agile, check out the second link in the description. That is the entire playlist of all the conceptual videos that we have done on Agile. If you're preparing for PMI ACP, then I would highly urge you to check out the third link in the description. So do check the description out whenever you feel like. Important links are always placed there. Let's get started. Okay, question one. You are the project manager on a team that is starting off its agile journey. The first change you introduced is moving away from a weekly team meeting to a daily stand up. Although some team members are able to attend and share valuable information, others are not too happy with this and frequently miss the meeting, citing non-availability and sharing their status offline instead. What is the best thing for you to do in this situation? So some pointers: you are the project manager in this situation. The team is just starting off, so it is likely that not everyone knows everything about Agile, and basically people are not some of the people are not interested in attending your daily team meeting. So what should you do? Go back to the weekly team meeting instead of the daily stand up. You should go back to the weekly team meeting. Option B: drop the daily stand up and catch up with team members individually. Interesting. Option C: work with the team on changing their mindset itself. Okay. And option D: enforce everyone to join, escalate if needed. What would you do as a project manager in this situation? The correct answer is option C: work with the team on changing their mindset. Because remember, the team is just starting off on their agile journey. Agile is a mindset. And if they don't see value in the daily stand up, what's happening here is perhaps you need to work with them on changing their mindset. You see, the team, if they are not paying attention during the daily stand up or they are not joining the daily stand up itself, that's because they don't really care about it, about the daily stand up, or they they do not buy it as an effective tool. They don't buy the idea that daily stand up is an effective tool. So what they basically want to do is either avoid joining it or maybe join it and try to have this uh, end as soon as possible so that they can go back and do their jobs, right? Now when teams have this kind of mindset, it is likely that they will eventually stop attending the meeting altogether, because some of the team members are not attending right now. Some others might eventually stop attending at a later stage, right? So agile adoption is not going to be successful in this case. What you should do instead is to propagate the idea that daily stand-up practice is going to be more effective if the team understands how it helps each of them, both individually and as well as the entire team. And this mindset shift can only be accomplished through open and honest discussion about what's working and what isn't. That's why working with team on changing their mindset is the best approach to this situation. And the answer might sound something like you're doing some sort of hypnotism here by changing people's mindset, but like I said, the best way out of this situation is to work honestly and transparently with the entire team to understand what's working and what is not working in the daily stand up. And then, based on the feedback that you have, then you can obviously obviously incorporate that feedback and move forward. Question number 2, which of the following is not true about iteration? So remember the keyword here is not. A, iterations have fixed deadline. B, projects typically have a number of sequential iterations. C, the scope of work performed during an iteration may change by the time it ends, may change by the time the iteration ends. Or D, the team must finish all planned work by the end of an iteration. Now, which of the following is not true, which means one of these options are false. So, which one of these do you think is false? The correct answer is D. The team must finish all planned work by the end of an iteration. You see, iteration iterations are basically time boxed. So the time is fixed, but the scope is something that can change. So iterations have fixed deadline. That is correct because iterations are time boxed, right? And they're obviously projects obviously have a number of sequential iterations, right? The scope of work which is performed during an iteration may change by the time it ends. That is also correct. So the scope may increase, the scope may decrease, whatever that is possible within the fixed deadline or the fixed time box that iteration has, that is possible. And actually, option D is the opposite of what option C says, because C says that the scope may change during the iteration, but D says the team must finish all planned work. So that means the scope cannot change, or whatever that is planned must be done, which is absolutely false. So this was question 2. Let's move on. Quick reminder, if you're looking to clear the PMP exam, head over to pmclounge.com/PMP study plan and get yourselves the free study plan that can help you clear the exam in 50 days. Thousands of people have actually used this study plan. Question number 3, you are the project manager on a team that follows separate phases for each project, starting with a requirements phase followed by a design phase. Some coding work can begin before design and requirements are finalized, but overall no part of coding is considered completed unless requirements and design phases are completed first. Which term best defines your project? A, Scrum, B, rolling wave planning, C, waterfall, or D, iterative? So the answer to this is straightforward. This is waterfall, because waterfall is where you will see different phases, and it clearly says here no part of coding is considered completed unless requirements and design phases are completed first. So that is the waterfall way of working, right? Requirements need to complete, then design needs to complete, and then coding needs to complete, after which testing and deployment will happen. So this is waterfall model for you. Of course, you might get confused with the some coding work can begin, this part of the question where it says some coding work can begin. And this is where I'd like to remind you, if you have studied waterfall in detail, you would have studied that some coding work can initially begin, that is called pre-work, but that is not counted as project coding work, right? That does not count towards even 1% or 2% coding complete, because no part of coding is considered completed unless your requirements phase and design phase are completed first. Let's move on. Question 4, which of the following is not part of an agile team's mindset towards working software? A, working software delivers final version of the features quickly. B, working software delivery is an effective way of getting feedback. C, working software is the primary measure of progress. Or D, working software is delivered frequently. Remember, one of these is not part of an agile team's mindset towards working software. The correct answer here is working software delivers final version of the features quickly, because that is not what working software does. Working software basically delivers the bare skeleton of features when you deliver the first version, and then you build on top of the previous versions. You go on doing that, and that is how final versions of the features are delivered. The first version is actually a working skeleton version. So working software, this is basically not part of the agile team's mindset. Everything else that you see here, working software delivery is an effective way of getting feedback. That is absolutely correct. It is the primary measure of progress. That is also absolutely correct. And working software is delivered frequently is also absolutely correct. But we do not deliver final version when we deliver frequently, right? So there's a difference between delivering the final version of a feature and delivering frequently. Of course, if there is a feature that can be delivered in the first iteration itself, you can go ahead and do that, but that is uh, these are outliers, right? Working software is delivered frequently, but working software delivers final version of the features quickly is not true at all times. Question number 5, and this again seems to be a situation based question. One tip here quickly is whenever you see a question that has a lot of text, try and read the last sentence first, which says, what should you do next? So that is what you need to find out from what's happening in this situation and what should you do next. So what's happening here is you are a developer. So you're not a project manager here. You are a developer in a software company that is in the process of adopting Agile. So again, you're just in the process of adopting Agile. That means not everyone knows everything about Agile. You have had some Agile trainings yourself and are looking forward to it. The product owner shares a brief description that describes exactly what she wants for a new feature, and your manager has assigned you to work on the feature. So product owner has shared something and your manager has assigned that feature to you. What should you do next? A, start coding immediately, because remember, early delivery of the software is the key. Ignore the specification. Remember, customer collaboration is more valuable than comprehensive documentation. So look for ways to collaborate with the customer. So you're looking to collaborate with the customer directly here. Option C, meet the product owner, because product owner is the one who has given this feature, right? So meet the product owner. Remember, face-to-face conversation is most efficient and effective method of conveying information. Option D, read the specification. Read what has been shared with you. Now, this should be straightforward, right? What should you do next? The correct answer is read the specification. Good old read the specification. Just because you're adopting Agile does not mean that you stop reading the specifications, stop reading the requirements that are coming your way, stop reading the descriptions that are coming your way. Just because comprehensive documentation is not something that Agile values more, that doesn't mean that comprehensive documentation isn't required. So the correct answer here is you need to read the specification. Remember, when someone takes the time out to write down information which they think is important, and this is what a product manager has, a product owner has done here, right? They have taken the time out, they have written down the information because they think it is important. It is very uncollaborative of you to ignore that information itself. So in order to be collaborative, you should read what is being sent to you or what is being assigned to you as well. That's all for this video, but remember, we have more such practice questions coming up specifically for Agile, and others are already listed in the playlist, which is the first link in the description. So do check that out. Like, share, subscribe. If you like our work, consider contributing at pmclounge.com/contribute, and I'll see you guys in the next one.